Hello, everybody out there in the ClapBack universe and Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and beyond. I am your host, Joy the God Is, and you are watching ClapBack Queens, where we talk about whatever the hell we want, because that's what the ClapBack is, right? The real ClapBack of life is what we are doing now, creating our new reality, creating our own reality, doing the things that people said we wasn't supposed to be doing things in a way that people say, oh, you don't have enough credentials. But no, we taking over. Doesn't matter. And when I say we, I mean self-identified people. I self-identify as Black. And I mean self-identified Black people. I'm not going to tell you who you are. I'm not going to tell you what you should be believing. I'm just going to document your life as it happens, because you are living history right now, even if you don't want to admit it to yourself. So, shout out to your life. Like that. Shout out. Speaking of shout outs to lives, big shout out to my homies Cupcake Caddy and Big Ox from EOW Creative Process. Like, shout out to my big homies. Last night they did such a spectacular event, open mic event out in Bed-Stuy called Brawl Out on the Mic, and it was phenomenal. If you missed it, you missed it. You just gotta wait till the next one. I believe the next one is on Sunday, November 29th. So you want to be there. It's full of, I'm not going to say nothing, but I couldn't stop laughing. It was a great time. The energy was amazing. The space is phenomenal. Shout out to Tainted Love with those infused cookies. I don't know if Tainted Love was also doing the food. The chili was phenomenal. And, drinks was on point too. So shout out to y'all, Brawl Out Productions. That was a really great night. I can't wait to do it again. I can't. I'm excited. So speaking of being excited, I want to share something with y'all that what I want to share is a little bit more of Precious Gorgeous. Well, I want to share a little bit from this week's guest. I'm just waiting for him to join us in the studio. Because he is freaking phenomenal. It's a living legend, and I can't even begin to tell you, I can't even really begin to explain the phenomenon that he is. He is self-made, self-paid. So,
I did a really dope jam this morning.
I'm gonna just play a little bit of his stuff while we wait for him to join us in the studio. Deuce Ellis is a producer, a shoe mogul. He is an artist. He is a freestyler. He is a bassist. He plays guitar, like just so much. And I greatly admire him as a human being and as an artist. So I'm gonna play part 1 of his special that's up on YouTube right now, Deuce Ellis, How to Make an Album, part 1 of 3. It's about 10 minutes long, so enjoy it, and hopefully that's enough time to get him in the studio with us. Let me just set you up on a screen share. What up to our 2 viewers? How y'all doing out there? As I said, we're about to get into some Deuce Ellis to just give you a little introduction of who this guy is that we're about to be sitting down and really have the opportunity to pick the brain of, I don't mind saying, a living legend in the main. Like he does things that I'm still figuring out. So enjoy.
Probably classic. G4. Deuce Ellis. The energy is different when the greats in the room, bro. Great. Salute. Survive. Y'all ready? Let's talk. Shit is hip hop.
Just let it burn. We sacrifice for everything we earn. To live this life, through the knowledge, had to learn. Get stronger, faster, better as the world turns. I can't be killed, just let it burn. We sacrifice for everything we earn. To live this life, through the knowledge, had to learn. Get stronger, faster, better as the world turns. I can't be killed.
Randy used to pray I was working hard for the day. These niggas see the ice and don't know you start with a tray. From an era where your pot, it used to gargle with yay. Callers getting thrown. That's why I ain't even starting to play. They say we can't be killed. Tell them my realities, they can't be killed.
What's good, world? My name is Deuce Ellis. and we are locking in to get into the making of my latest album experience called Midnight Auribus. It's the album. There's also a graphic novel that I wrote and was illustrated by the big homie Kevin Delgado. And you know, as a black man, as a musician, as a hip hopper, I just really wanted to level up with everything that we do. And so it starts with my love for like 3-star hotels and wanting to, we're in the height of quarantine, wanting to get to a space that felt safe, felt like I could create in and really be at my creative best. And I could bring in, some amazing talent, and we could lock in and see what we could create. And so I spent damn near 21 days combined in a hotel room at the Marriott in Buffalo.
It's your village, it is not safe. Stay about these waters, protect your sons and your daughters, hide your wives, run for your lives until you recognize that you will catch the minds if you messing with the hives. King's blood in my blood due to genealogy. You selling CGI.
In the first part of the process, I brought, Camouflage Monk and CG are two of my personal favorite producers, and then they've landed, placements all across the board. I think they've made really, really incredible records, really important records for artists ranging from like Westside Gunn, The Hope, Griselda, just down the line. And these are my friends, these are my brothers. They stayed at my place in Brooklyn, out here. We've linked in Buffalo before, so to be able to be like, yo, let's get us all in a room and create and have fun and see what we come up with. That was amazing.
Just know I do. Know I do. Just know I do. Not with it. I said, oh, I love me, you woman. Oh, I do. Just know I do. Oh, I love me, you woman. Oh, I do. Just know I do. Oh, I love me, you woman.
Then on top of that, I wanted to bring in, all the artists from the town that I knew were dope and that would be brave enough to hop into, the situation. Just see what happened if we put all this talent, especially a lot of us, we don't get the chance to get together and like create. We usually all only gather together at each other's shows or at each other's events. So to be in a space where the only premise for us was to create, was to make something, was to celebrate each other, was to honor the fact that we were all titans and have put in years of work into this craft and, have become pillars of the culture and of the scene. It was important to have everybody together and to get it documented. Because I feel like a lot of times the magic and the process gets missed. It doesn't get documented, or that's usually what artists like to guard and keep secret. And so I wanted to pull the curtain back. I wanted to open it up and let people see what happens when we get these minds together and leave the door cracked just enough to let God in. And the results were amazing, man. And so what happens is, first lock in the hotel is just to make the music. I bring all my instruments, all my production equipment, and we turn this room in the Marriott into like our music military workstation. I'm up early working. We're staying up till we can't work no more, putting hours in, and the music comes out beautiful.
I'm from the home of Loganberry, where niggas are open carry, talking tough in the ghetto, end up in the mortuary. I was what? Chillin'. Next thing I know, bullet holes in the ceiling.
Fonto, leaf clover luck. Kanye shoulder shrug. Woe is us on this prison planet. How you holding up? When I'm in my room by myself, I think of it as a cocoon. Transformation in the theater coming soon.
One of the huge goals was in this dope hardcore underground hip hop space to take all of my efforts at musicality, at learning to play instruments and trying to understand how music works, and make stuff that felt like all the music that we love to sample, but make it original, and pay honor to a lot of the musical greats and that lineage of great music, of great Black music, great culture that's always expressed itself throughout, music. And it's really the backbone of American music. How do I now take that and bring it to, a space that's traditionally sample based, that's traditionally only electronic instrument based, and say, I want to bring musicality to it. I want to play, I want to have guitar solos at the end of like rap songs. And then I want to get the best rappers, that I can get my hands on in this underground space. And that's another thing that like makes it proud, is that we get the best in the game, and just let sharp lyrical swords fly.
Twitter. CG porn. What the fuck? So anyway, only calls the CG.
I'm ready whenever y'all are.
Does it look like
You want to wait till DC filming? You can wait. Free balling in my Gucci trunks. King crab is what I chew for lunch. I was a student once. I still am, but now I move with monks. I need the boost, give me loot. The way I rap, heavy doing bumps. I just want my pound of flesh and improve my mood. I talk to God in my jacuzzi, say keep doing you. So move in truth. Induce, provide the loops. I'm not a son of Yakub, but I still collect the devils through a metal tube. Be the lesson you see, your 12 gauge looking like I opened up Hell's Gate. I never felt safe. Hoes in the ozone, get your fucking dome bones. Tim Jackson couldn't flow this cold. Sisyphus couldn't push this stone. I hit the kush, then I spit my soul. Forget a push, I be known in every single home. That's why they call me frigid. I don't write shit, just open the spigot and let it flow for a minute. Hold your position, yo. I hit the kush, then I spit my soul. Forget a push, I be known in every single home.
Stop touching stuff. No, I'm just showing. No, I'm still touching stuff. Okay, I had to get the drunk and stupid verse out first. Dual wielding and enemy fields. It only take a swing to kill. I bet you wish you would have brought your shields. I know it's bad, but I'm just being real. After you finish the mission, always make sure you grab the key and peel. You think it's funny till you ain't thinking. Be careful with the jokes you make. Silly rabbit, right now it's take season. Believe me, I ain't trying to break even. Cause if the odds is in my favor, I'm about to have a great feasting. Hunger ain't a game to he who's starving. So I'm on the manhunt, and yeah, I'm akin to Marvin Martian. This game is only for the hard-hearted. And when I strike, I'm bringing out 300 like it's a gang of Spartans. They're ignorant, so they don't want to hear it. My message is I drive my will. This is a car only I'll be steering. It's Genesis filled with Holy Spirit. I scare last line, fam.
Check. Yeah, my life is lighter fluid, risking my life to do this. I know the fire rising higher cause I poured into it. There's no betrayal, all details blaming birds of music. The recognition is beyond how you're supposed to view it. This boy is growing stupid, use him, probably foolish. Bodies are buried in burrow buggies for being clueless. No killing them, walk them to knowledge till they shoeless. You fools losing your walking papers but catching Ubers. I'm so deep, try to bite me, you gotta train in scuba. Still fluid as in roller loading for the shooter. My flow platoon go cartoon with large bazookas. So duck and cover when you hear ahooga. Who could measure up? Get the ruler. I write the hit to move you. 1-inch punch, I Black Bruce to school you. Only in the ways that are art for the smart users. The foes get forgotten in boxes, garage tool shit.
That's it.
I like this. I don't know why, but this is good. This is very good.
I won't come out.
Fucking come on.
She wasn't a commercial story.
Yeah.
Hey.
Clap it up, clap it up.
Peace,
What up?
beloved.
I'm sorry.
How you doing? Salute, salute.
So do me a favor. Tell people a little bit about yourself, Deuce, while I take care of this phone call.
Me? Man, I'm about to roll this spliff with some bomb ass runts. Life is good. I make sneakers and comic books and music, and I put the music on vinyl records, and I sell it across the world. And this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. I think she's on the phone handling some stuff. What up, Cyber World? I did not know that I would be called upon to entertain. So if you're out there with me, by all means, first of all, check in. Let me know where you're from. You know what I mean? Who's from where here? Do a little roll call, say your name, say where you from, where you repping. And then we can do what I like to call a roll call. And you can say what you smoking too while you know what I mean? A little roll call. So yeah, say where you from, say where you repping, and say what you smoking.
Where you from? What you smoking? What you repping?
Yeah.
Me,
roll
I
call.
Am some green.
I don't know how to work with the camera. I keep want to go like this way to get closer. And all right, cool. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Got the dance right.
All right. So I like to think of you. What am I smoking? Oh, this is some.
Yeah, I seen the way your nose tilted back.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
this guy nice. He hooked me up. He gave me some nice kush. Really nice kush. Got the orange. I got the orange flowers on it. Look at that. Those kushes are pretty. So yeah, that's what I'm about to be smoking. I'm rolling up myself right now. I like to think of you as a pirate king because you always use these skulls. So what is that? Hesta.
Headstash.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, we smoking good. You gotta treat your lungs right.
Yeah, you gotta treat your body right.
Exactly.
You know, and you're an advocate of that, I see. Like
we
got to spend some time jamming. I saw a little bit, like from time to time we jam, we do get up. And I like to see inside your head. And it's a lot less boisterous than I presumed. Like, or it is, but it's so orderly.
Yeah, no, it's pretty chill, man.
That's what's up. So, how long you been making music, dude?
Been making music?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one, you know, because like I remember I'd be like 3 years old, and my mom would like be gone for the day, and she leave me like a babysitter or some shit. And when she come back, I would have like made like a song for her. Like I don't like banging on like the table or some shit, but you know what I mean? Like I'd be like, Mom, I made a song for you. So when people, I'd be like, I've been making music for as long as I can remember, and I just remember hearing like I hear music,
yeah,
and it affect me, and I just want to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to be a part of it. My grandma tells a story. She's like, her church had like a little talent show or some shit, and I'm like 2 years old or whatever, and you know they got people going up to the stage to like do their talent and sing, or whatever their talent was. And when it came my time, well, it didn't come my time, but like there was just a little lull, and like 2-year-old me was like, I'm going up. It's my time. I'm about to do my thing and like perform. So, and you know what I mean? Like I tried to run up, and she had to grab me like, "Yo, what you doing? Sit your ass down." So you know, it's a calling, yo. It's something I always want to do. I gotta get my.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. I thought I lost my weed. That would have been tragic. You know?
Huh?
I said I thought I lost my weed. I had more of this stuff, and I thought that I don't know where I would lose it. Like I've been here all day.
Yo, you know what though? I lose weed all the time in my house. Like all the time, I lose my weed, and I just be like, "All right, let me just buy some more." And then I'll be cleaning or like not even paying attention, and then boom, weed. I'm like, cool. Yes, I just found weed. And meanwhile, it's that same original bag that I just misplaced. Last night, matter of fact, this weekend I was tight because I was like, damn, where's my pipe? I just bought this beautiful labradorite pipe from spiritualcare.co. Shout out to them. This gorgeous labradorite pipe, right? And
Yo,
so I
that
was
is pretty fly. It's just made of like one solid stone.
yeah, it's one solid stone.
Yo, that's fire. That's
Yeah.
how like the ancients. That's how the ancestors got baked.
Yeah, yeah. She makes them in all the stones. Like she has, the rose quartz, clear quartz. Like at least when I met her, she did on the table. So I was over here, I couldn't find it, and I thought somebody had took it because I've had a
So
lot
you
of
just
people
got it too?
right. So I was like, damn, man. And then yesterday I'm like out front cleaning the front of my house, and I look over on the table. I moved the planter and it was right there next to the planter. I was like, damn. But it also made me feel good to find because I was like, at least
because I hate that part of me that like the moment that I lose something after having niggas over, even if it's all people that I love, I just like, yo, who do I know that would have? You know what I'm saying? Like, you took my weed, nigga, for real? You thought I wasn't gonna find out? Nah, it'd be the couch. The couch took
the couch, right? I'm
it was my fault. I dropped it.
Out of that too, because I feel like that's kind of this. It's an inherent response that's tied to internalized white supremacy. Like your first presumption should not be that some nigga stole some shit from you. You know what I'm saying?
If it's white people too, if white people in my house, I assume that
I use niggers in
white people is niggas to me.
White people is niggas too. Like
everybody's niggas to me though.
Everybody is niggas. Okay, niggas is an inclusive pronoun for the group.
Just don't call me a nigger.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Everybody is niggas, but don't
all my niggas.
So I've just found that as a practice, right? Because my first thought is usually, damn, I lost it, I misplaced it, but then my next thought is, who the fuck was in my house? And I know this nigga shifty. He might have, and then it's a rational, back to rational thinking of like, well, maybe I just misplaced it and da da da. But it takes a while to get out of that shifting of.
That's usually what it is. I'm fucking clumsy. I be forgetting shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Of course I couldn't find my weed. I was high when I hid it from myself.
You can't be hiding shit when you high. That's the worst.
Yo, that's the worst. I'll put the fucking the remote control in the refrigerator and hate life for a day. And then it'll be like, yo, calm down, dude. Why don't you just go get something to drink and clean it?
It's like, boom, look what you just found. But see, I also kind of like that part of hiding stuff from myself when I'm high, because then it's like a surprise, when I find it and it's a party. It's like, yes, I got a reason to celebrate at this moment.
I'm on your show. Your show is dope. Tell me more about your show, because this is fun, and I want to be like a recurring guest.
I want you to be a recurring guest because this is all about like just recording or archiving people's existence, clips of our narratives as we live them in the world. I'm obsessed with. I'm a storyteller primarily. First and foremost, I'm always about the story, about narratives, because to me it's story that lets people see their connections as human beings, across racial lines, across gender lines, across sexual orientation, like against, across all the boundaries that we set up as human beings. The telling of stories is what allows us to find the common themes among us, the common threads that keep us, and back in June, when the country was like, oh, we're gonna make Juneteenth a federal holiday, I was like, really niggas, this is what we doing? Okay, if we doing this, then let's really do it. And I got inspired. I was given a task to take over. I took over somebody's Instagram to curate. Shout out to Nissa at the Living Gallery. She let me curate that weekend. And I just started, I wanted to start an archive, a living archive of Black existence. I've worked at, history museums in New York. I used to work at the New York History Museum, right? And we have all these archives, but the thing about New York is that it's so diverse, and I was always upset that I couldn't walk around the New York archives or the Brooklyn archives, and I rarely saw like our stories, you know, and even going to the African American Museum in DC. Yeah, it has a lot of history in it, but it also leaves out a lot of history. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stories. When I think about Juneteenth and I think about the slave trade, the diaspora all over the world, it leaves out so many stories, right? There's thousands of stories we've never heard. So I got this idea to start this archive in any way I can through photography. I take people's pictures. There's the Instagram account for it now, the Juneteenth Project with a K. Y'all can follow on Instagram, you know, where all the photographs I take of people is there with a little story or blurb about them. I'm working on the website so that we can put the videos up, the video interviews up, and our commentary. But like, it's really just about trying to start the archive that never existed. So like, you know how in Watchmen, you can go to the ancestry and you can trace your ancestry back however many generations, and then it'll say like, you know, she was speaking to her grandfather. I want to do stuff like that. I want this to become something like that, like the basis for that, where like your great grandson can come and look you up and be like, oh, that's my great granddaddy Deuce. And he can hear your words. He can hear your life experience from your own lips. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're living in a time that's unprecedented. Not just for human beings, but specifically for Black people. I think that the whole way that Black people live, in all our facets and all these different ways, is a clapback. It's the ultimate clapback, because it's like, for generations, our people have been dehumanized, and I mean, I'm just gonna stick with one word for right now, because we all know what it is, right? And this is the first time in history where everyone in the world knows what it is. And we're all on the same page. Like, we're mostly on the same page. You know what I'm saying? At least we're reading from the same book. But I think it's important that we try to, I don't know, I think it's just important to document as much of our lives, our processes, our existence as we can for ourselves, because, you know, history is written by the victor. And often when the victor emerges, they choose to erase everything that they deem unimportant, or, you know, that makes people have their own ideas. You know, that's how you keep control. You can't let people be thinking. So I think it's really important to record the stories. And this is just one of the ways I do it. Clapback Queens and Kings is the show that I just find people that I'm like, yo, I think you've been clapping back for years, because the ultimate thing about clapback culture to me is that you don't conform. It's like modern nonconformism, basically. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you went to school. We're going to get into it because I want to know how Deuce Ellis came to be. But, you know, people will look at you, and from the day I've met you, you've always done shit different. You've always marched to your own drum. You're like, yo, I'm going to do this. Turn around, you got a comic, an album, and sneakers, and t-shirt, and vinyls. Like, come on, like, you doing so much. You know what I mean? It's the people that people ever tell you doing too much, like you doing the most. It's like, why not? Why should I not do the most? And so I think, you know, this is just the way that I publicly do it. Eventually I'd like to open it up and have panel shows, because I want to bring, it's like 227 on a virtual stoop. You know what I'm saying? Like a virtual stoop show, because I don't know what else to do to maintain my sanity except try to collect stories and talk to people, and make a place that allows people who are not of our experience, who are not of our culture, to at least be able to witness and listen to our stories and gain some better understanding. Because a lot of, you know, again, a lot of the things that got us to where we are is by us not being listened to, us not even being heard. You know what I mean? I don't remember the national meeting where we went from being Blacks to African American or Negroes, like all these. And this is just a really broad thing, but like, no one asked me if I was cool being an African American. I never been to fucking Africa except for like 10 hours on a plane. You know what I'm saying? Well, I did go to Africa a long time ago, but like, it's not a noteworthy trip. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. It's like, why are we I don't want to wait. I feel like we don't have to wait for anybody. We have all these tools at our disposal. So I'm gonna do what keeps me sane, keeps me living, and hopefully benefits the world somehow in the future.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But this is not about me. This is about you, Deuce Ellis. Well, maybe it is about me. It's about you and me. It's about us.
There you go. But ask away. Ask me anything. I'm here. I'm an open book. Ask the time.
So, where are you from originally?
I was born in Buffalo.
All right. Upstate New York.
And I grew up between there and Brooklyn. Like my mom, found new love. He was from Brooklyn. Spent my summers in Buffalo. I broke my leg when I was like 11. It took me like 18 months to be able to walk again. So I lived in Buffalo during that time. You know what I mean? So yeah, between those two cities. And then when I was like 14, 15, I got into this program that like took kids out the hood, sent them to like nice white schools or whatever. And I was in Connecticut, so I lived there for 2 years. And then after, like, I got kicked out of that school.
Wait, why? Don't gloss over that. Why did you get kicked out?
No, I wasn't glossing over it. It's just, stepping stones. I actually didn't get kicked out of school. I got kicked out of the program. And really just, they had a certain way that they wanted Black men to be molded into. And like, I was successful without being that. And it rubbed some people in power there the wrong way. And I was young too, so I didn't understand a lot of the finesse of that world. You know what I'm saying? But I got to, I appreciate that experience because I got to, you know what I'm saying? And like, just the exposure, seeing, what different people taught their kids at a young age and seeing, how you arm, your kids with certain tools young. They just, have certain advantages or whatever. But so yeah, I got kicked out the program, but I had more than enough credits in school to get a diploma. So I was like ahead and shit. So I hit the lady like in the office or whatever, and she's like, "Yeah, you good?" She sent me my diploma, and yeah, and then I was living in Buffalo for a while, just creating Deuce Ellis. You know what I mean?
What was your favorite place? Because you've lived a lot of places too, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I've always heard stories from around the world. What's your favorite place to have like lived or visited?
New Orleans and then Hawaii. Yeah.
What was that like?
Shit. And then Vegas.
Not New Orleans, but Hawaii.
No, I said New Orleans first and then Hawaii.
What was Hawaii like? Because I remember us talking yesterday, and you said something like, selling cars in the sun gets old quick, though. And I was like,
yeah. Like any place, you only see the pictures of any place in its nicest, right? Like they don't show you, South side of Chicago when they show you like the postcard of Chicago, right? So Hawaii's got its paradise. Absolutely an amazing time there. But then there's just also little things like it wasn't my land. You know what I mean? I didn't belong there, so to speak. I was, the people were gracious and accepting, but I just also knew like it wasn't my home. And then there's just differences to like island living that you're not really prepared for until like you there. The island's only the island I was on was only like 50 miles from like north to south, maybe like 50 miles east to west. Do you know what I'm saying? Like once you've traversed that whole island a few times and you realize like you're there, you also get the feeling like, yo, this is it. Like I'm stuck here on this rock. You know what I mean? Like
this one rock. But I feel like that's like Staten Island or something. Like that's what it would be like to live in Staten Island.
But see, that's the difference though. Like if you want Staten Island, you can get on the ferry and you know what I mean? Like you can get in your car.
Like between islands?
Huh? Nah.
How do you get like to the big island? You just fly from island to island? You have to fly? That's wild.
Exactly. I mean,
Wow.
there's some people who have boats. Yeah, I mean, and you can kind of boat, but it's a long trip. Because it's like 4 to 6 hours, like maybe 8 hours by boat from island to island. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But also, it's also the difference though. Like, you know, like here, like if I get tired of New York, I could drive to like Pennsylvania or to Atlanta, or yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
it's just, or even like the flight, like to get to California is like 16 hours type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you still gotta get so just those little things like was a part of like you know, and then yeah, I'm a New York City kid. Like at the end of it, like I still like my corner stores being open for shit.
I like my bodegas.
Exactly, like when you get deprived of that, and like it's just different.
You see, I'm the same way. Like you see me, I stay with an icy or something like that. Like there's certain things I need from the world to like just have available around me that like it's not okay if it's not available suddenly.
Like New York programs you to move a certain way. Like you move a little bit lighter because you can go from place to place and kind of gather what you need. It's not really convenient to lug around a whole lot of shit.
Right.
You know there's so many like intricacies of it. Different.
Wait, you just went out a little bit. Like
you hear me now?
It's going in and out. Like I'll hear every third, you know, a couple words and you fade out.
I know we can't talk at the same time, so let me know if we good.
No, we good. We good.
Yeah, we here though. Hey, clap it up for technical difficulties. Woo!
There it goes. So you were saying the intricacies of something.
Moving through New York City is dope. That's all. So I love it here. So of all the places I lived, I mean, I guess New York is my favorite, but it's also my favorite place to like not like because it's you know what I mean? Because it's you know what I mean? Like in COVID, New York sucks. Like NYC during COVID time is fucking trash, bro. I haven't had a great nightlife in way too long. Like there's house parties and low key joints, but like there's like one per night. And motherfuckers is like, yo, I gotta leave because like the train's shutting down. I don't want to spend 40 on Uber. When did Uber become more expensive than the cabs? Did you know that? That's been my finesse lately. Is I'll just call a fucking cab. That when the Ubers is wilding with the surges and shit, the cab drivers be happy as hell to get a phone call. They be like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Cabs? You know what I'm saying? So. But nah, New York.
People forgot about the livery cab.
Yeah. Rail joints, the NYC joints. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hello, Evelyn. Yeah, send me one to my door. They be there fast now. They got to.
I feel like.
And I tell them like, yo, they don't come, just go come. Fuck it.
You know what it is? It's that switch that's been made, right? That switch that's been made to this like. There's also this divide I find that's going on where you're either cash or you're credit. Like there's very few that have both. And like even me, like I lost one of my cards the other day and I misplaced it in my own house. I know it's in my house because it hasn't had a charge in a month. Right? So I know it's in my house. I'm not worried. But I keep going out not worried about getting cash because I can either send it to a friend that has cash or I can tap and pay almost everywhere I fucking go. Even getting on the train, I could tap and pay on the train. So it's like
you fly until you get to the one place that's like, nah, we don't got that. I love my tap and pay until you get to the one place in New York and you need it too. You need it.
No, but see, that's the place, right? That's the place where I turn to my friend and I'll be like, yo, can I just send you this on Cash App and you just give me the cash for it?
I roll Dolo. I'll be like, look, son.
Yeah,
if I roll Dolo,
it'll just be like a series of transfers from one card to another card to like till it gets to the one that I have on me.
Hold up. I mean, I keep my cards on me. It just sucks when like my flow be fucked.
Yeah.
I like my flow. And I feel like I don't have to touch stuff because I'm still a little paranoid about the Rona. So like, I'd be like, just take that. I'm out. You know,
That
don't
part.
touch my debit card and give it back to me.
And to me, I've been staying away from cash because my theory, mad early, being in the service industry, is money's probably how that shit got around in the first fucking place. So so widespread and undetected. Because who thinks to wash money? Literally, like no one literally washes money, huh?
Yeah, money is dirty as fuck.
Yeah, money dirty as fuck.
That's why every so often they just be like, yo, brand new money. Destroy the old shit. Fuck that money. It's filthy.
That money. We're just gonna make some new money.
Yeah,
exactly. New money for you guys.
People's done cocaine off of it. Shit. You know what I mean? Like that means it's been in niggas' nostrils. It's just disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. That's why I can't wait till we're cashless, bro. Matter of fact, the only time I even have to deal with cash these days is drugs. That's about it. Illegal shit. We'll just leave it at that. Like, what else do you need cash for? And like 3 bodegas.
And 1 liquor store, because also like
the good liquor store too, the one you fuck with, right?
Yeah, the one I fuck with is cash only.
That's what I'm saying.
But them niggas be open till like 2 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning, almost every day.
They only take cash.
They only
like, we can't register. Because you're not supposed to sell alcohol past midnight.
No, like on the weekends they're open till 2, and on the weekdays they're open till 12. But
exactly.
They're the only ones that steady. They're the only
Don't
ones
even
that
tell me what that liquor spot is. We're gonna keep that low.
Yeah, keeping that low. They're the only ones that have steady kept those hours from the beginning of quarantine, right? Everybody else been like.
That's why they cash only, son, because them debit card transactions got timestamps on them.
Cash got Corona on it. Cash got Corona on it though. Yo, how long is this oven gonna take? I've been preheating my oven since we started talking so I can make myself a pizza.
All right. Make sure you put the timer on it.
Yeah, of course. Well, I have a really great sense of time. Shout out to my parentage. But
I did not notice for the longest, but I figured out that my stove got a setting on it that like you can make it just turn off on its own when it's done. Like you can set however long the piece is supposed to be, and then the oven will just turn off, and you don't got to worry about burning.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing I dislike is when I set it and it wasn't set for long enough, and then I have to like get the oven going again.
Yeah. No. I'm strictly. I read the back of the box quite thoroughly.
So yeah, and then like I spruce up my little pizzas, my Celeste pizzas. I like spruce them up with a little extra cheese, olive oil, and spices, or sometimes I put vegetables on top.
Yeah.
Speaking of vegetables, you live that vegan life, right?
Yo, I just don't eat meat. That's the name of the series. Is you don't eat meat. What do you eat? Because that's what my family be saying whenever I go. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't eat meat. What do you eat? But I do like wherever you go. If you put like vegan in Google Maps, it'll bring up some of the flyest fucking restaurants. Because the vegan restaurants be having all the flavor. Fuck out of shit. So I go to a lot of spots like that. But I also just go wherever. Like I'll get roti with a potato and chana. And
what's your go-to spot here, like for some good food?
Charm Vegetarian is fire as fuck. That's on Notion and Atlantic.
Dope.
So it's Chinese food, vegan style though. So like you can get your General Tso's chicken, which is like I thought I might never have General Tso's chicken again, and I was like just dealing with that. And they're like, nah, we got it. Yeah,
we got you. Yeah, because it's spice. It's not like the thing I learned.
Just the seasoning. They got a bomb ass barbecue ribs, like the boneless rib tips, which isn't real meat anyways.
Oh word. Have you been to Memphis Seal?
that? What's that?
Memphis Soul is on Franklin and Lincoln Place, and it's like Korean. So it's Southern Korean barbecue, but also it includes like vegan things. So like they have barbecue jackfruit in place of like the ribs, and that shit is perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, popping.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna give you one other spot though. I love this spot so much I fucking hate it. And I wish like they need to have one next door to me. They need to have the cooks in my house. That's how good this shit is. It's a spot called Dirt Candy, like Lower East Side on Allen Street. And that like the name Dirt Candy. So it's all like vegetables but cooked with like when you said the Korean shit, they have this Korean fried broccoli. Yo.
What?
Yes, they Korean fried broccoli is like, oh my god, bro.
Yeah, I had an idea the other day to make a tempura cauliflower.
Yeah. But imagine like that, with, like, Korean seasoning, and then what else?
Or even tempura asparagus, not asparagus. What are these things? Artichokes. Like you ever have some fried artichokes? Shits are amazing. And then make them little sauce on the side.
I never thought about that.
Oh yeah. My chef brain is in overdrive these days. Like I just think of food to cook. I'll marinate food for days. And like the other day I made a shark steak and like braised shark steak in a red wine sauce. And then I made it the next night because I got two of them and I didn't realize I defrosted both. So the next night I just made it in a white wine sauce. It's better than the red. It's better than the red purple. Yeah.
Red wine has more flavor to give to. Yeah, I mean, more body in the flavor. So yeah.
Well, the way it was seasoned, they mixed better, and I like put I also made this marinade. It was like an onion, lime, cilantro marinade with this little sweet onion. So that also plays a part in it. You know, I tried it a different way. Some things it worked, but it wasn't as good as when I made it with the red wine. So I think make different herbs, you know. And that's what I like about I liken your musical process, just getting back to you again. But to like how I cook, like or how I find different recipes. You seem to be somebody who like really, really contemplates each element, like every single element of the musical experience you're trying to create.
There's so much inspiration. Like I was trying to figure out who I was going to start. I'll start with Quincy. Quincy Jones documentary and just Quincy's legacy in general. You know, if you want to like base point for great music. But I was listening to this Prince interview. But you wonder what the I had been inspired by Prince to like accept that. And so, you know, just the legacy of big music, particularly from Black folk. Going back to the old Negro spiritual, which is like rap originally, you know what I mean? Soul music originally, blues originally, rock and roll originally. You know what I'm saying? Just that common thread. I want to really just, you know, put everything I could into the music, make those guys proud, carry on. You know what I mean? Like, it's especially because like, and then inspiration is everywhere. Like, Daft Punk has this interview where they talk about how they went about the process for making their last album, and you know they touched on how because of technology, it's become really easy to make something that sounds good. I was gonna say make music, but make something that sounds good, right? So they deliberately, you know what I mean, stepped away from, you know, one, what they were comfortable with, and then two, like going what would be kind of the easy route and really trying to get back to that shit that makes music magical and not mechanical. So that's it. It's just trying to make it as magical as possible. Because like mechanically, like I know how to put together like, you know, a loop with a fly sound, some bass under it, or some 808s, some drums that works all the fucking time. Like there's a gajillion ways to do that. But to make, you know, magic, that just takes, you know, a little more dedication, a little more time.
Word. Like what? I think magic is so important too. Like, where did you get that? Like that, or what is it that allows you to kind of just still believe in magic and push that out in the world in a way that like forces other people to? You know what I mean? Because I feel like not a lot of people try to like bring the magic anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like just hear that motherfucker translate his soul.
We can't hear you at all on your side.
Yo, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's what it is. When you go back, you're too far from your mic, and we can't hear you.
Yeah, I was saying like to believe in magic, I don't know, like just listen to some Jimi Hendrix or on anything that Quincy Jones has ever produced. Yeah, I mean, like, and how could you not? Or I don't know if that doesn't get you kicked, you know, spend some time in nature. Look at the trees, see how you know what I mean, see how they like do their thing and communicate. Um, it's you believe in it because you see that it's actually like real, like it's not like a fantasy. Yeah, I
Right.
mean, like if anything, the shit that like you know like permeates all the space in between us is the realest thing ever. Like come on, like how could you not believe in magic? And then we sitting here talking to each other on screens from like
Right? And we're
wherever the
like
fuck we are.
miles away, we're miles apart. Word.
How the fuck could you not believe in anything? You know what I'm saying? Like let's get real. So, you know, in that sense, yeah, you got to. And then a gem that I got that I pass on from the homie Al Black. She was always just like, get in tune with like your personal superhero, whatever that is within you, and you know, live that and radiate that. And then that'll inspire people around to, you know, light the fire of their own personal superhero. And then that's when you're really contributing something. And so, you know.
If you were a superhero, like who's your inner superhero called?
Sellers. That was the created character. You know what I mean? To do the things like what. So when people ask like, "What do I do?" or like, "How does?" or like, "I do a lot," they're like, "I don't do a lot. I'm Deuce Ellis for a living," and that's just the shit that. Yeah, I mean, like this vessel that I created does like. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it exists like that more so than.
That's yo.
like this guy, this is the character Deuce Ellis. Like that's like the superhero. This is the one that's like, yo, these are the same sneakers that I'm. You know what I mean? Like that like that whole world like exists for that. But you know that's all. It all then becomes like one central thing, and it's all just expression from that.
Facts.
And there's no reason anyone should ever feel like limited or that like the goal is to take kind of the sum total of the things that you love and gravitate towards and would want to dedicate, you know, the sweat hours and the hard part of shit, right? Like, you know what I mean? No one sees like the hours when the comic didn't like work out. Yeah, you know what I mean, I had to like scramble to be able to pay the artist to like do it, or when he was busy, and then it was like, man, what do you mean you're busy? Like, I want you to do my shit, type shit. So like, you know, all those things that go into that, you know, no one sees that part. They see, you know, the final product. And again, that's part of like the creation of magic, right? you don't see the magician do the thing that gets the bunny into the hat. You
Right.
just see him pull the bunny out of the hat. That's the magic part. So it's you put in the work to the craft and you keep loving it. Yeah, Deuce Ellis is just to do that. Delian guy, he's
you
back.
guys.
You can't even hear him.
Yo, what do you think about the world right now? Like, how do you feel about how do you feel about how it's happening and like your contribution to it?
Brutally blunt. I mean, like, we ain't never had it right since as humans. Humans have always, and when I mean, like, this is just part of what humans do. You know what I mean? Like, throughout history, the history is told based on wars. It's like this war happened, and then this thing happened, and then this war happened, and this thing happened, and then this war. And you know what I mean? Like, that's the history of like how mankind is told. There was never a time like where it's like, hey, no more wars happened, and we got it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I look, do I feel like the state of the world is any particularly worse than it's ever been? Nah, not. You know what I mean? Not really. Like we've been doing this. It's just
like the state of our world.
I mean, like, we're just the ones in it. Like, I'll put it to you like this: the music that we like, listen, because now, like, there's teenagers around us. We hate their music,
right?
But our parents hated our music, and we thought they was nuts, and we thought our music was the shit. And you know what? Their parents hated their fucking music. You get what I'm saying? Like, this shit don't. So it's perspective too. From where we're at, it looks like shit. But I'm sure from, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
34 for Black people 50 years ago, I'm pretty sure they're like, yo, what do you think the world looks like? It sucks like how it sucks back then. You know what I mean? Like, but on the flip, for real, because you got the internet, you got the ability to connect with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You have the ability to create almost any kind of product that you could think of. And you got the ability to connect with a whole bunch of people to share that product. And all the wealth is usually in products or information. You know what I mean? Or intellectual products, right? Mm-hmm. So just a lot of the gatekeeper shit that help people from being able to do certain types of great things is now no longer an issue. Like, you could write a book now and put it together and get it out and sell it to the people who would buy it and make enough money to grow that. You know what I mean? And write another book and build a reputation now as a writer and build a following of people who, you know what I mean, read your work. And then the big companies that wouldn't even give you the light of day now are like, hey, we need you. You have the ability to, negotiate with them better or just, stay completely independent if that fits whatever your specific goal set is, right? And that's for kind of anything in any industry, whether that's sneakers or music. That's just the approach that I took, was that, like, one, again, what are we waiting for?
Mm-hmm. What are we waiting for? Like, I always wonder that. Like, I do want to ask, like, what is it that got you to be, like, so mentally aware of yourself and just say, fuck it. Like, what am I waiting for? Because that's a lot for somebody to take on. You know what I mean? Like, to just, like, decide. And you're right. We have all these tools, but you're one, when you're a one-man team, that's real. That's a lot of work for one person to do.
But no, it's not. Hold on. I'm not going to take all the credit. Hell no. And whether it's a team of people that you grew up around, which it doesn't have to be, because not everybody grows up with you know what I mean? Like, in that type of scenario where, like, they're like 30 plus with their best friends from childhood. But if that works for you, that works for you. But again, with all the resources that there are, you can kind of outsource lots of different facets of this game. And then you do your research, you figure out what parts of the game can be broken down and who can be hired for what. and who's great at shit that you're not good at, so that you don't have to, you know what I mean, put a whole lot of energy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not good at emailing DJs and shit to play my records, but I know somebody who is, so hire them to do that. I'm not great at doing artwork, so I don't mind, especially, and then I understand that, like, the better the artwork is, the more people are going to be, like, intrigued by it. And if it's some phenomenal art, you know what I mean, or something that'll turn heads. And so that's also just part of the game too. Is like, just because you make something doesn't mean that people are gonna buy it just because you made it.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
right? The audacity of you.
well, I mean, like Purple Cow, Seth Godin's book, Purple Cow, right? Like, you got if you're driving along the highway and you see cows, at first you're like, ooh, cows. But after like 3 hours of seeing cows, you don't give a fuck about cows no more. But if you saw a purple cow, that shit would, you know what I mean? Stand the fuck out. So that's part of what you know it is how do you, if everyone's making music or wanting to act or sell weed in California or whatever, yeah, I mean, like, how do you do something that separates you from the pack? That's part of your creative juices flowing. And like, I think one of the things that made it work for me, and again, getting help, but was realizing that the marketing and presentation of my work, whether no matter what that was art. That was just as much of my creative work that had to be done, because if I don't get this thing to the people who it would benefit, then I that's my failure. Or if I can't do it, then I gotta get someone who can do it. But that's part of the job, right? And that's for anything. If you paint, you still have to find a way to get somebody to see your paintings, or somebody who will make people see your paintings, right? And so that's part of where you have to place some of your mental energy. And like, if you do it intentionally, you'll bring the right people. Like, that's just part of the law of it. But if your energy is, oh, nobody, you know what I mean, gives me a shot ever, guess what? That's what you just got a shot. So, you know, you get the right people, and you know, there's mad resources for especially for music promotion. Like, you just discern what works best for you. Build relationships, because that always helps, and maintain those relationships so that, you know, things aren't so you're not a stranger the next time.
How do you oh shiznit. Hey,
I see all ladies do that every time.
huh?
I see ladies do that every time.
What?
Go and grab the hot thing out the oven barehanded, and then be surprised that it's hot. Like, we ain't been doing this.
No, I wasn't surprised that it was hot. It's just like a little sting, because we know it's hot. Like, me personally, I have hot hands, right? Just from as long as I've been on the line. It's like, I've always done that. Like, sometimes I'll be cleaning my cast iron pan, and I'll go to touch that shit, and I'll be like, I'll get right there and be like, oh, wait, that's Iron Joy. Like, you're relaxed.
Yeah.
I have that tendency to, like, not think about the pain of it, but like, you got to grab the food directly, you know, before I had to catch the cheese from dripping. It was just like, it was a quick moment.
It is a pizza. You're right.
It's just a pizza, you know what I'm saying? So like, worst case scenario, get a little burn, like, whatever. Okay. I can handle it. I don't know. Women like pain. Who knows?
But no, you had a question.
That's what I did have a question. My question was, how do you think you make yourself stand out? Or like, what was how did you make yourself stand out, like, in the beginning? And like, till now, like, how has that evolutionary been? I have no idea what I was trying to ask, but it was about the evolution of you standing out.
This sounds so corny, but it's the truest thing ever. Because like, just be you. Like, there's no one else. When I realized that, like, there's no one else that can do the things that I specifically do the way that I do it, because my brain's just wired the weird way that it is, then like, and I appreciate, especially now that like, you know, amongst peers and stuff, like I appreciate everyone brings something different and different elements. And so the gathering should always be more like super friends than like, you know, anything otherwise. I appreciate, you know, good competitive energy, but the best way to stand out is just to really, really tap into like what's uniquely you. That's your superpowers, things that like, you know, there's no two snowflakes alike or whatever the shit. So like, yeah, tap into what's you, do you fearlessly, and be hot. You know what I mean? Be hot with it. Find like a way to, you know, create the best product that you can. Like you know, get your best work, present it as great as possible. But ultimately, like, let it stem from like you being like you, like how no one else can. And you know, people will gravitate to that, and they'll gravitate to, you know, you connecting to their emotions, you telling stories, making people feel good, you know, all that type of stuff. And just, you know, like, I don't know who else would order a bedazzled mask the way that my mask looks and wear that.
Your mask is super fucking fly. Where did that mask come from, Doug?
Shout out to Princess D. LaRue. She was in Buffalo. But I put a post up. I was like, yo, who can make a mask? I have an idea like this. And like, it's inspired by the Margiela mask that Kanye really made famous. But I just seen a vision of like, it's double inspired. And that's usually how like, I like to take like, especially things that like I put together. It's like, I'll have like two way different sources. And for some reason, my brain would be like, yeah, they'll work together. So in the comic book, and the character has a helmet. That's the logo as a mask. And I was thinking of some way to like replicate that. And then I seen the Margiela mask and I was like, wait, we could do something even like more, you know what I mean? Like high level art. So I sought out somebody who could do that. And she absolutely crushed that. And she crushed it in a timely fashion because like, you know, we were trying to find somebody, and it was dope because like more than one person recommended her on the time, like in that status, like from like different sources and stuff.
Yeah, that's always a great sign when more than one person tags you. It's like,
yeah,
that's blessing.
Yeah, and I knew too because I like, you know, there was some other people that I hit up and they was like, nah, I can't really do that, or like it was asking for like astronomical fees, and I'm like, nah, like it's you know what I mean? Like I've seen Max similar on Etsy for like, you know, this, and like I get, you know what I mean? Like there's gotta be better me, but no, she killed it for like the right number where everyone was happy, and got it out in time. Got it to the shoot. The shoot was awesome, and yeah, like just super appreciated that shit. And you know, I want to keep that as like, you know, it's a work of art, and inspired to kind of continue to, yeah, again, just that was just a weird thing that was in my brain. And I was like, can I make this real? That's the other part of it too, is I'll just have something in my brain. And these days I'll be like, can I make it real? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, yeah, like there's,
yo,
and then it's obsessive because then it's like, yo, now I want it in my hands now. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen it, and with the internet, you can get like a picture of some shit, damn near that you made. Like that's you know what I mean? Like in the vision that you have it, or as close to it as possible. Don't let me get a mock-up or some shit. So, I want that. You know what I mean? Like I can't wait for the Midnight Harvest finals to come in. I want to play that on the record player so fucking bad. Anytime.
You sound like, I know you read a lot, but like you also sound like you read a lot. So what are you reading now? And or what are some of your favorite books? Or like, yeah, what are some of your favorite books?
Yo, I'm in between books. What was the last book that I finished? Was it Shoe Dog? I feel like the last book that I finished was Shoe Dog. And I started this book, Contagious. It's about like marketing and shit. But I've been watching a lot of like video interviews and articles and shit. I like that way of processing information. Like I know reading is fundamental and shit, but they also said that before, like you could watch a video documentary and like learn mad shit in 2 hours and then press rewind like 10 times on like the spot that like what was that again?
Visual learners, like
you know what I mean? So hella video, but I definitely remember reading Shoe Dog, Ray Dalio's Principles. I love that book. Contagious. Favorite books, Mastery by Robert Greene.
I've never heard of that one.
Oh man,
I've never heard of most of the books, but that sounds like tackle.
I mean, his latest book, The Laws of Human Nature, is quite fantastic. But Mastery in particular, for me, just hitting a certain point at a certain time in my life that like resonated really, really, really deeply in terms of, because also just the whole book is about the path to mastering something, and to kind of like finding your niche in something. And so like that's part of why like when I say something like vinyls, comic books, and sneakers, or like Cult Classics is the company that I have, and it's because that's my like focus is all those little kind of like niche things like comic books, like vinyl, like you know what I mean, like these are the things that like I love and live for on a regular. So it just you know what I mean, and like they all kind of intertwine.
Gotta be other people like you, you know, because there's definitely other people like you out there in the world, like
or at least they like one of those things. You know what I mean? So just vesseling it that way, it all comes together.
That was actually going to be my next question. I'm glad you mentioned that documentary. I was going to ask you what are you watching, or like, because we've all been quarantined, like we've been in quarantine. So, but still in quarantine. I stay in quarantine. Like fuck that. So like we have a lot more options. There's all these things we could watch. Everybody, what are you watching? What's on your list?
Cartoons. I've been watching. Lately, like I discovered a whole vein of like all the old cartoons that I love. That is, you was checking some of that with me, like we was watching.
Word, yes, I did.
But they're real interesting to watch as an adult. One, because from a historical perspective, you realize that like these were shot in a different time. They weren't necessarily made for children at that time. You know what I mean? Like, I guess they were cleared for, you know what I mean? Like, for children. But then, yeah, it's just interesting. It's dope. Like, it's mad stuff to pick up. So, there's that. What was I watching? I love watching Drink Champs. I am a huge fan of the Joe Budden podcast. And shout out to Maul from the Joe Budden podcast, because I ran into him. I got to meet him at the West Side Gun Sessions. And he was a cool fucking dude. And he got a copy of the comic book, and he did the whole picture for social media thing, and he didn't have to do that. But I love that show. Got me through some like hella times, and I'm just a fan of the show. Like I was a big Joe Budden fan from like back even before his first album. So to see like again when we talk about how we do what we do, you see somebody like turn a fucking podcast of him. And like this was before podcasting was like even a thing. Like just him and his homies in the living room, like talking shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And turn that into like a thing. That's the alchemy that I love. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody. If from when he said he would have told you like that this could be worth like you know what I mean quarter of $1 billion type shit off of what they built and that type of worth created, you'd have been like, the fuck out of here. Stop doing this now. Go do, you know what I mean? Like go rap. Go do what we expect of you. Right?
Go do what we want you to do. Go do this other thing that's supposed to like, and see that's why that
fits our narrative and our paradigm.
Like Even right now, I got people telling me, you know, if you just did this a little bit, or like, I don't understand why you got to smoke weed. Have you ever seen Anderson Cooper? Like, I'm not trying to be none of those people. I'm not those people. Like, I'm not them. I'm not living in their shoes. And that's not what I want to do. I want to shed light to the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, again, when I go back to story, it's like the thing that stops people from being whole people is that we was always trying to be told to be somebody else instead of ourselves. You know?
Right.
And now it's the time we finally can be ourselves. So
It has to be.
Yeah.
Like the opposite of confidence is conformity. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, you can't like allow yourself to be bent and shaped into what other people see, because that doesn't matter. You'll be unhappy like that anyways. You won't win like that anyways. So, you know, you may as well just like go ahead and like, if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down doing what I love. I'd much rather, because like it's listen, and then you know in these COVID times, like for all the folks, I'm gonna get my little humble brag on for a sec. That told me like stop doing music or like get a real job, and then some of those people like they real jobs they can't work right now, and like but I can do this and like provide a service to people and like I mean earn
right
so like. I believed in a world that you didn't and was prepared for things that you weren't prepared for. So like the real thing is just believe in yourself more so than anything, and go with like your gut feels best. And I'm not knocking anyone who like 9 to 5s because I've done several, and you know what I mean. Like it really is just a mindset of like finding a way to use those earnings to balance your lifestyle and then create a way out. We'll just leave it like that. We're all, in my mind, like, if you ask what motivates me, it's always like,
Yo, what's
I
good,
still
bro?
feel like a slave hustling for freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And if it's financial freedom, that's freedom and whatever. But, I still feel like that fight for freedom and then being able to free as many other people as possible is like what drives us. So, yeah.
Mm. What I was gonna say what drives you, but then you just literally just said that. So now I have no more questions. I mean, I got more.
No, because I gotta run soon too.
Huh?
I had to run soon in a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna watch on.
Yeah, I wanted to before we were gonna wrap up. I was gonna wrap up with some of your music off the new album. I want to let everybody know, where can we find your new album, your comic book, your sneakers, your vinyl, your t-shirts? Is there anything else I'm missing? Is there a Deuce Ellis movie in the works too? Right? Album.
High Pfeiffer wasn't available to play me to shed during because COVID and stuff, but we're gonna get somebody else. See if I look back to pretty three. I'm just playing. For everything you can find it. Deuce Ellis, DEUCEELLIS. The Deuce Ellis Bandcamp has the vinyls available right now, and the comic books, and the sneakers are up there too. And if you the album is everywhere. Like we made sure that it was bootlegged all across YouTube, so you can listen for free. It's on all the DSPs, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. Follow me on IG. I'm always doing like interesting stuff. And yeah, I don't know. Stay in touch. Follow me on YouTube. Just type the name in, all that stuff will come up. The album Midnight Orvis is out. Thank you to everyone who's listening. I think that while we've been doing this talk, we broke over 30,000 streams for like the first
yes.
Yeah, I mean, they said we couldn't do it off streaming, but we did streaming and physicals, and we're crushing it. So thank you to everyone who's like tuning in and supporting, and to all the DJs and playlisters and everyone that's giving like this shit some shine. Because we just want to continue to prove what you can do like, from the ground up independently and do it organically. you know,
Yo, do the
it's not just
Toby
today
way.
and just owning it, but like down the line, like, you know, we'll still own it and we won't, you know, have no other motherfuckers making decisions. Beer commercials, that's shit. So all that sort of stuff, just protecting it, passing it along, and then passing that same type of game along. So yeah, I'm accessible too. If you hit me in the DMs and you know you got questions or some shit, as long as it's some real shit, like just holler at me and I'm around.
Facts. I second that. He's very much like he will respond. Like,
Yeah.
What's your favorite song on the album?
Damn. I don't have one. I do not have a favorite. I like.
Good answer.
I like all of these tracks, but if I had one that's ringing in my head right now, I might say Funk Revolver.
Okay.
But the song that a lot of people have gotten back to me and said that they love is Steps on Giants, featuring the homie Napoleon. So we can go with that.
Well, we're gonna find out right now. I'm gonna I thank you so much for talking to me. I can't wait till you come back and we can do this again. We can do this every weekend, wherever you want. Because we still gotta get up. We still gotta get up and write some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm dying to work with you. And I thank you so much for believing in whatever this is gonna be. Because I mean, at this point in time,
I feel like CNN or some shit. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Like ESPN.
This is the CK network. Okay, we do it different here. But yeah, pretty much. Like I got the little ticker going.
Shout out Jay the Goddess.
You know, thank you. That's why we try to do it. I'm gonna play a couple cuts off your album because I honestly have not had a chance to sit down with it myself, but I am gonna buy the vinyl as a gift for my father, who doesn't watch my show, so it's all right that I just said it. But I feel like he's the only one that I really appreciate it. Or maybe just a gift for myself because I am buying one of those groovy new record holder things. I wax nostalgic, you know what I mean?
So like, it just everyone should have one. Fuck it. And people should enjoy like really listening to music again and enjoying the magic of music again.
Ooh, Dirty Moon. I like that sound. So I'm gonna start there.
That one's for the ladies.
And next time we come back, we'll talk about the whole album.
My phone is about to die.
Talking that talk, only real niggas know. Yeah, real girls getting money, staying low. On your own businesses, on your own home. Yeah, real girls getting money, staying low. Underneath the dirty moon, shining in the glow. Yeah. I look up at the moon, then I look down and see a gun and some baggies. Drug runs in the caddy, this life runs in my family. Not glorifying nights was horrifying. It's the jungle, can't report the lions. Only resort is extort with violence. Took a different road, most follow the flock of sheep from a rotten street. Deadly sauce leaking out of your taco meat. See some shit in the hood that I cannot repeat. Just drop the beat cause the flow stays sharp like some possum teeth. My mission not complete, my feet just getting wet now. Treat rappers like a stepchild. For the years I was exiled. No explanation, it's a miracle. Survive devastation. Where it's two options, catching cases of souls levitating. I can promise the second you prosper, the devil's waiting. Disguised as a friend who never hate until you elevating. Under the dirty moon, the goon strike with no hesitation. Weapon raising, so protect your family and your reputation. Real girls getting money, staying low. Underneath the dirty moon, shining in the glow. Yeah, real girls getting money, staying low. Talking that talk, only real niggas know. Yeah, real girls getting money, staying low. On your own businesses, on your own home. Yeah, real girls getting money, staying low. Underneath the dirty moon, shining in the glow. I look up at the moon and look down and see a pile of cash, a pound of weed, flexing in the fashion as if me to help style me. Fly shit, I promise solemnly. Protect the black woman, move with my bros honorably. I keep my people straight in this crooked economy. Tap dance, backflips, daylight on my feet. Understand supply and demand, and peep the sleight of hand. Slinging through your city like the neighborhood Spider-Man. Don't get carried away. I'm with a pretty thing, bumpin' share my world, Mary J. Navy in the rental, let's pick somewhere to play and blow clouds by the water till the pain start to fade. The audacity of a winner. Look, I choose to bet on me and build this thing brick by brick. That's sweat equity. More intrigued by your hustle than I am by your body. Secure the bag, exchange room keys, and let's meet in the lobby. Real girls getting money, staying low. Underneath the dirty moon, shining in the glow. Yeah, real girls getting money, staying low. Talking that talk, only real niggas know. Yeah, real girls getting money, staying low. On your own businesses, on your own homes. Yeah, real girls getting money, staying low. Underneath the dirty moon, shining in the glow. Yeah.
Taylor.
This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. That number is 666. You ready?
2 green dice, 1 red, tap in the street. 666, smack 'em with the mark of the beast. I learned the game from a tablet, it was emerald green. And pray the Lord keep me flyer than Hermes wings. 2 green dice, 1 red, tap in the street. 666, smack 'em with the mark of the beast. I learned the game from a tablet that was emerald green. And pray the Lord keep me flyer than Hermes wings. Into the inferno, I'm Dante walking through hell with Virgil. And all black, off-white, my cloth is spiritual. The goddess Athena, readjusting the sand so she could bring me Nike like DHL. Do we be searching for heaven in the freshest of kicks? Move deftly, took jet skis across the river Styx. See, when you come from the mud and you emerge from the pit, you learn to fear no beast. Your Cerebus is a bitch. 2 green dice, 1 red, tap in the street. 666, smack 'em with the mark of the beast. I learned the game from a tablet, it was emerald green. And pray the Lord keep me flyer than Hermes wings. 2 green dice, 1 red, tap in the street. 666, smack 'em with the mark of the beast. I learned the game from a tablet that was emerald green. And pray the Lord keep me flyer than Hermes wings. Crafting like the carpenter of Galilee. Vision like Galileo standing in the gallery. I drink wine of fury from the goblet of wrath. God made me a ghost. He put wraiths in my past. I use mirrors as weapons. They hate the sight of themselves. The only thing that I pray for is generational wealth. I seduce the Medusa like a virgin Madonna. Open the heart-shaped box, a fistful of Nirvana. 2 green dice, 1 red, tap in the street. 666, smack 'em with the mark of the beast. I learned the game from a tablet, it was emerald green. And pray the Lord keep me flyer than Hermes wings. 2 green dice, 1 red, tap in the street. 666, smack 'em with the mark of the beast. I learned the game from a tablet that was emerald green. And pray the Lord keep me flyer than Hermes wings.
Even if you don't know chords at all, you don't know anything about music theory like me, this is perfect for you.
And this is super good for you.
It's like, you see, you gotta picture me though, like wistfully playing keys, smoking a split. I get up and I go over to my guitar, my bass, and just let this music rap. Let the vibe come alive. Praying that the darkness never take me under. You see the lightning strike before you hear the thunder. I hustle 40 days, hustle 40 nights. Drove 30 hours trying to get it right. I need jet fuel on a private flight. Need a real one like you standing by my side. I gotta break rules, gotta make moves. Watch me make waves, watch me break through. Hash, black magic, pure passion, paranoia in my periphery. Survive crashes, God body, nothing's an accident, nothing is sacred. My ghost speaks in the accent. My plugs stay consistent, and that's all that I can ask for. My aura is royal, the squad is loyal. My blood, it boils. I lost my best friend young. I pour some liquor to the soil. Yo, straight up, they want the recipe, the formula, but couldn't cook the same if I gave it word by word for ya. Cold-blooded, feel nothing, sense weakness, bomb first. Kill them all and let God sort them out. That's a quote from a pope. The law ain't no cells, you leave them enough rope. The greatest drug I could sell to you was hope. Add a little sugar to the poison and you could call it candy or dope. Check. Praying that the darkness never take me under. You see the lightning strike before you hear the thunder. I hustle 40 days, hustle 40 nights. Drove 30 hours trying to get it right. I need jet fuel on a private flight. Need a real one like you standing by my side. I gotta break rules, gotta make moves. Watch me make waves, watch me break through. I done had this hunger since I was a youngster. Was it nature, inertia that turned me to a monster? Channel to ambition and a vision that's colossal. To turn possible that which you would think preposterous. I'm a ray of sunshine, standing like an obelisk. Flow infinite into midnight Orbis. Strive to move as peacefully as the Dalai Lama's followers. But we'll show up in Dali masks like you ain't stopping all of us. We're freeing minds, uplifting spirits in these freaky times. Realign flaws in the system, we just redesign. She think I could read minds, but really I just read the signs. Plotting on the perfect heist, waiting on the perfect time. And we'll stick up the world, split it 50-50. Take all of the dough and buy a ball of city. Sip, do say till we pissy. Flow infinitely in a bulletproof Benny bumping Biggie, blowing sticky. Praying that the darkness never take me under. You see the lightning strike before you hear the thunder. I hustle 40 days, hustle 40 nights. Drove 30 hours trying to get it right. I need jet fuel on a private flight. Need a real one like you standing by my side. I gotta break rules, gotta make moves. Watch me make waves, watch me break through. Praying that the darkness never take me under. You see the lightning strike before you hear the thunder. I hustle 40 days, hustle 40 nights. Drove 30 hours trying to get it right. I need jet fuel on a private flight. Need a real one like you standing by my side. I gotta break rules, gotta make moves. Watch me make waves, watch me break through.
At New York Presbyterian Hospital, home of Columbia and Weill Cornell doctors, we're I
was really inspired to use the Coltrane changes from John Coltrane's Giant Steps. Pay homage, but also like reinterpret them in some boom back drums, you know what I mean? Make it super cosmic.
Ferragamo.
It's only a couple that you can have rhyme on this.
Ellis Deuce, what up?
What's good, God?
Fuck a chip, I walk with boulders on both of my shoulders. Carry the burden, I'm closer to my dream and its culture. I'm in my promo bag, focus, that's a total fact. Explosive stats out the gate, I wasn't holding back. Holding the golden axe, for the back like Goldman Sachs. While y'all stuck at a cul-de-sac, hustle the coldest raps, we could toast to that. Heroic mode, stoic though, still my cup overflow. Top of the totem pole, but they be knowing though. Dudes hiding behind personas, exaggerated bona fides. Frontin' hard when you was a bitch in the PJs. Bomb first like D-Day, built to split the money 3 ways. Clean tape, but been nice since I'm a teenage. This is free base, all my service fee base. Still I gotta keep faith, winning a chip with all my teammates. Take it back to Brooklyn, then erect a statue of him. Shorty's flooding the backstage, I did about 2 of them. Been a crazy few weeks, I lost a few friends. Rest in peace, Jay Ruckus, man, that shit don't make sense. Epicurean lifestyle, Ferragamo maturing. No need to follow trends, I never monitor the currents. But I'm aware that I'm a rare occurrence. Future millionaire, the extraordinary version. Michael Irvin rocking silver gear, paparazzis everywhere. Press conferences, caviar and silverware. See what I'm building here? We dropped a banger just to clear the air. COVID made me grow a beard and shave my familiar hair. Yeah.
See that? See how we elevate the art form. Painting pictures with words. Music was such a vibe, so cosmic it gets you high. In another life, I would have been a jazz great, smoking joints with my instrument. Here I am, Deuce Ellis, right? Yeah.
Black intergalactic cosmic genius, here to change the narrative, revise the thesis. Let's kill all the monotony, fire up the botany, rhyme bomb atomically, sucker punch Sophocles and put them on down to this real nigga philosophy. I came for all the smoke, no time for the hypocrisy. Time apocalypse, staying up like an apostrophe. Yeah, my heart is black as night like my skin. I had to sacrifice for the win before the flashing lights appear. I be dashing in the wind, bitch, catch me if you can. Dancing in the rain, dancing like a flame. Dancing with the devil once again. Dip him and make him spin. I put the iron wind, smoking like iron lung. Punch him out like Iron Mike. Decalcify the penny out, third eye shining bright. I see right through ya, and I keep on moving. No time for losers in this here revolution. It's pure evolution, no room for excuses. We planned it out, perfect, excellent execution. Fuck what you been talking. I've been ill since Walkmans. Walk till your feet bleed, then keep walking. I masterfully finesse, cause Lord is just laughter with an S. The flow is lawless with an F. It's a lot of truth and jest. I pull a big joker from the deck and tell the police suck my. You know the rest. We out, Jet.
This is Chromecast with Google TV. It's perfect if you want to jump right into Netflix at the click of a button.
For just $89.99. Yeah. So, we're not going to give it all away because we ain't trying to bankrupt our guys. We just want to give you a little taste, just a little taste. Let you know what my guys out there are doing. You know what I'm saying? That you should go support. You can get it on vinyl if you go to his Bandcamp, or you can just download it digitally on any of the platforms. Spotify, all that good stuff. I want to thank you once again to the living legend, Deuce Ellis. We only tipped the iceberg, so he will be back to contribute some more to his narrative, and we will have him again. And we'll be back on Wednesday with another legend, like one of my mentors in hip hop, somebody who helped me create myself, the one and only Corey James Gray, FKA Ill Spoken. So I'm so excited for that one. Please come back, join us. It's going to be probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock. We don't know. Because, you know, ClapBack, we move at the speed of the world, right? We don't let nobody rush us. And we do things as we do things. But if you're committed to it, yo, why don't you just get on the Patreon? If you was on our Patreon, guess what? You be the first one to know. You will be the first one to know about everything. So, you know, just, you know, subscribe. You can subscribe to the Patreon. It's The God Is Arts. Very simple on all platforms, including Venmo and Cash App and Zelle, and PayPal. You know what I mean? If you want to just give us a little donation, but you don't have the 20 cents a day it takes to be a patron, that's cool. We ain't mad. There is nothing wrong with what you can give, even if it's just time and attention. So I thank you so much for tuning in. Be back on Wednesday, 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Until then, be kind and considerate to yourself and each other. And also remember to just be you, because everybody else is taken, all right?